do it within 45 minutes or 1 hour. I'm sure there will be some questions in the chat that would require answering. Now we'll go back to the Google form questions. Without further ado, I'll cut it to the chase and start answering those questions. And right after that, we'll move to the chat-based questions. Another important thing, when I open up Google Doc, I won't be able to see what you will be writing in the chat. I won't be able to see it until we go through the whole list of 80 questions. After that, I will switch over to the chat questions, and then we'll be able to interact with your questions, okay? Then, if you don't mind, we'll start. Question number 1. Igor from Kiev. Question about the cards. Are there any limitations in what countries, what can be paid, what cannot be paid by that card, where it cannot be activated, whether I can transfer money from that card to another card, whether I can do cash withdrawal, what are the commissions for their replenishment and withdrawal? Okay, let us talk about it at greater detail because there are many questions about the cards. First important thing, that we don't have KYC cards. KYC stands for Know Your Client. In other words, we have non-verified cards, and these cards are very much different from the cards that we are all used to using. That is why, as far as limitations are concerned and what countries they work in all countries aside from sanctioned countries. Actually, for brothers from Ukraine might come as a shock, but Ukraine is also a sanctioned country. So it fits for all countries which are not under sanctions. You can pay everything with these cards aside from the closed merchants. What are the closed merchants? Closed merchants are the ones who are running guns, trafficking drugs and things like that. And cards won't work for those merchants who block an amount and then write it off later. If you have such merchants, then you will see the denial because this card has no verification. The merchant won't be able to block the amount from the card and write it off later if this card is not linked to you personally. Now the question, can I transfer money to another card? No, unfortunately, you cannot transfer money to another card. It's a virtual card. You can use their only USDT or DEX token. You can send the USDT and DEX token and see dollar balance there. Can I withdraw cash in ATM? Not in the ATM because it's a virtual card. You won't be able to insert it into ATM aside from the question when it is an NFC-based ATM. But here you need also to understand in what jurisdictions it will work and where it won't work. It's highly experimental result to try to withdraw cash without the use of a physical card. The commissions for transactions now and for conversion of currencies, we take commission 25 cents for the transaction, and for conversion, if you send it from USDT to our card without use of promo code, you will be commissioned 2.5%. With the use of promo code, 2%. For replenishment and conversion, this is basically similar operation. Moving on. Vasily is the next question asker. Everything about cards, commissions, limits. Can I use my virtual card to pay for utilities in Ukraine? No, you won't be able to do that because it works only with those countries who are not considered high risk by the United Federal System. Until the end of August, we'll have 2 more other types of cards. I won't name date lines. Very soon, we're going to have 2 more cards launched, which are going to be integrated. You need to understand it doesn't mean that by the end of August, you will have them in your wallet. We will have them, yes, but we will need some more time to integrate them into the wallet. And those would be the cards both with KYC, where you will be verified and then it will be operational everywhere, wherever you want. Or there would be yet another version of a card without KYC, and we believe it would cover bigger number of jurisdictions. Igor asks the next question. Hello, can I connect simultaneously DexSafe on iOS and Android? Of course. And then you will have to synchronize them through a C phrase. please provide the detailed instruction how to activate the card. Yes, we are preparing the text instructions, and we recently shared them with the directors of marketing companies. Very soon they're going to be posted on our official web resources, on my Telegram channel, and we're preparing video tutorial. Of course, we're preparing video tutorial because the process of activation and buying of a card without verification is somewhat different from a more usual model, and we need some tutorial or instruction for that. Moving on. Just a second. Yes, hello. My colleagues and I would like to get new information about DexSafe because my phone is on the fritz and I don't know how to restore my data or change the address for the withdrawal to DexNet. See, guys, DexSafe wallet is just it's just the suite that covers your blockchain. So if you need the seed phrase, if you put it somewhere, you can restore access to your balance, not only with the DexNet wallet, but with the use of any other decentralized wallet. You can reacquire access to your assets. But the ideally, please write down that seed phrase by pen on a piece of paper to put it in make a screenshot of that, or notes in phones are very, very risky, because should somebody get access to your seed phrase, then be ready that the person will do whatever that person wants with your wallet and your assets. And I'm not talking about DexSafe asset, but the wallet in the blockchain with all your assets. It's very important. Next, when can I swap DexNet token to Bitcoin in Safe? We haven't activated such a function yet. To be able to swap Bitcoin to DexNet token, we need to have high enough liquidity on the centralized exchange. Our exchange office of the wallet is connected to Dex exchanges, to PancakeSwap, and to make swaps there, we need to have high liquidity. We need to put in enough Bitcoin and DexNet tokens, but it makes sense only when there is a high demand for that. So far, the demand is quite low. As soon as it grows, and we have many such requests, of course, we'll do it. Next, question number 2. Same person. It would be great to tap on the Dex node or on our own key in the Huracan game. That would have attracted a lot of new clients. Don't thank me for such an idea. I'm not going to thank you for that. You asked me. Of course, it would be cool, but you need to understand the difference between the marketing and economic model. On the same matter, it would be great to do airdrop of tokens among our community, or just give away Lamborghini to somebody we like, because there is a balance between marketing strategies and financial strategies. That is why I agree. Of course, it would have attracted quite a lot of community to people to our community, but we need to gain out of it something. Okay, Igor Melnik is asking next question. Hello, Alexey. I have a problem, and not only me, with the installation of the wallet, how to set up the security in my wallet. I keep asking questions. I promise that they send my questions to the developers. The problem is when I enter the security tab, it's impossible to install the access, the code for access, because there is no window for that. We were waiting for that, and now we cannot use the long-awaited wallet. Please help. Yes, Igor will help you with that. See what the difficulty of any mobile app is, because there are so many different smartphones, much more than there are different browsers and computers, and each smartphone has have their own screen resolutions and other parameters and properties. And the more differences, the more feedback like yours will have, the more stable will be our services. Now we're still in a beta tasting mode where not everything is perfect, and it doesn't work with all smartphone variations. And if it happens that the say the screen resolution of your smartphone doesn't allow you to see the full screen of the application, you cannot see the window where you can put in the PIN code and save it, and then of course for your particular version of smartphone, we need to adapt it. We have launched it for the most popular versions of smartphones, but getting feedback from our clients, we keep improving our application for other different models. We are aware of your problem, and we're going to prepare solutions. So don't worry, you can keep using DexSafe on some other smartphone now, and with time, we're going to update it for your model of smartphone as well. And please, whenever you approach our tech support with such questions or such bugs, please mention what version of smartphone you own, what version of the operational system is installed on your smartphone. It's enough to enter settings tab of your phone and make a screenshot of your screen. There you can see both the version of the smartphone and the version of the operational system. That will help us adapt our application to your type of smartphone. That is why, Igor, don't fret it. We're going to need some time to roll out the update for your smartphone as well. Evgeny is asking next question, what needs to be done to make sure that DexSafe works? After the adding of the next Dex wallet to DexSafe, it stops working. As soon as I click on it, it opens up and then it closes down right away. What can I do? Yes, we heard about this problem, Evgeny. On some versions of smartphone, it did happen, and we have provided a bug fix to it. Maybe you have a somewhat super unique smartphone. Again, please provide that information with a screenshot of your smartphone model and the operational system, or you can provide a text description. It's more likely that it's an Android-based device, and mention what kind of smartphone model you own. Yes, we'll help you with that, of course. Igor Melnik is asking more questions. In my wallet on Android, I cannot see whether there's a card for buying on. We haven't rolled it out for Android-based devices yet. I think that we'll have it this month already. In the security tab, I made an invisible balance, then I switched it off by the swipe, but it remained invisible. How can I return it back to the original visible? Please tap on the actual snowflakes. If you tap on snowflakes, it will open up. If you tap it again, it will become invisible. Try it like this. But the case is interesting indeed, so let us try to do it through tech support. We need more detail about your smartphone model. It's more likely it's Android-based, but we need to understand which operational system and which smartphone model you own. Sergey from Germany is asking question. Hello. Some my friends are asking whether there is going to be open code for crypto for DexSafe. Yes, we're going to put it on GitHub, the source code of the wallet, but we'll do it a bit later because we need to adopt it, because some smartphones don't work with it as expected. That is why allow us first to make it more bankable when it can be put up on GitHub, and then we'll post it as well. Question from Budapest. I'm going to translate it right away because it's in English.
Окей, давайте сразу на русском. Мы знаем, что у DexNet,
We know that DexNet has all the necessary permits. What will happen if some countries will raid it with special regulator? I'm talking about the service provided by DexSafe cards. I will be honest with you. We'll try to solve these problems as soon as we start having them, because at the moment everything is speak and span clear legal-wise. As soon as some countries' regulators will start have questions for us, we'll try to answer them. We'll try to adapt to all the circumstances, but we work with decentralized solutions, so not all of our solutions are available for the regulators. It's like a regulator trying to affect the technology of blockchain. Do they try to do that? Yes, they do. But the technology is arranged like that nobody can interfere with that. Next, Alexey from Saratov is asking next question about cards. What are the tariffs for the use of Visa bank card? No. We using MasterCard. I think I made a slip of tongue when I said Visa. Will there be a difference if the client has online card or physical card? Of course, there will be difference. First thing, our online card is the card without KYC, without the verification, in other words. Physical cards without verification so far with those providers who we know about do not exist. Maybe they popped up somewhere, but we are unaware of that. But at the moment, all the physical cards, if it is not a corporate card, they all have KYC or verification. That's why they will be different, of course. And the commissions and tariffs between online cards and physical cards will be different. Next question, again, Alexey is asking it about DexNet card. For instance, a client has 100 USDT and 1 Bitcoin. The client wants to pay 150 USDT. Do I understand that in this case, the card will pay out 100 USDT and will automatically pay 50 remaining USDT using Bitcoin money? No, it doesn't work like that. For instance, if you have balance in USDT and you have DexNet card, so to make sure that you have a balance on DexNet, you need to replenish it with money. You click on replenish it or credit some money and you put in the amount and you get it from BEP20 wallet. It's very important because when you create DexSafe wallet, you need to create BEP20 wallet, USDT BEP20, I'm sorry. And you need to have some BNB on the balance as well to make sure that with this BNB, you pay for the transaction of USDT to the card. The main idea here is that you do the transaction within the blockchain. So far, all your assets are on your wallet. Nobody, without you knowing about, can transfer it to the card. And the option when you pay with a card, and card automatically gets some assets from your wallet, is technically impossible because it's blockchain. Here, you need to make it manual. You need to send your assets to the balance of the card, and then it will be on the card. Then it's no longer in the blockchain. And yet another important thing, balances which are stored on the card, we do not have them. Balances are owned by the merchants. Well, not merchants, but the issuers of bank cards. So we cannot be held responsible for the issuers of bank cards because it's not our business, it's not our business entity, it's not our company. And generally speaking, the money already on the card, this is a centralized solution. Before the money ends up on the card, it's a decentralized solution, meaning that it's totally secure and safe, 100,000% even. The only way you can lose your money is when somebody has access to your seed phrase. There is no other way to get access to that. But as soon as you transfer money to the card, at that moment in time, you need to understand that there is a whole bank who issued those cards. There is MasterCard, a payment system, and this money is no longer owned by you or us or blockchain. It's over there. So it makes sense to replenish your card with the balances that you spent for your life. For instance, if you want to buy a car or something else, okay, you replenish your card, go and buy it. But it makes no sense to keep tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars or thousands of dollars on the card. It's like putting your money in the bank, but there is a big difference. In the bank, you are being verified, or you come to the bank and say, it's me, it was my money, please return my money back. But here, the card does not have KYC, and it might happen that there is no technical way to prove that this is your money, this is your assets. So please replenish this card by the amounts that you need to spend. That's the main idea. Maybe it's not really correct from the side of the business owner, because the more you put money on the card, the more we'll make on the commission. But I want to make your life as secure and sure as possible. Here, it's important to use decentralized solutions. And if you put your money on the decentralized solution, on the centralized solution like MasterCard, you need to understand that it's MasterCard who owns your money. And if something happens, it's highly unlikely, but still, it can happen. Next question comes from Alexey. I've activated my online card DexNet, but I don't know how to replenish its balance from DexSafe. It's very simple. You need to click on replenish the card, minimum from 15 USDT. That's the minimum amount. You punch in the number you want to replenish it by, and that's it. At that moment, USDT BEP20 wallet transfers money to your card. And generally speaking, as far as your question is concerned, we'll prepare a tutorial. Our marketing company directors are going to adapt that instruction and send it out through their resources, and we are going to post it on our official resources as well. Moving on, when I copy the number of the card and then copy paste it in another place, only first 6 numbers are shown, other numbers are shown by asterisks. When I turn it around, on the flip side, I cannot see its CV. Maybe, okay, we return back to the question number 2. It's very important. Until you send at least 15 USDT on the card, it's not activated. You cannot create it. So you can see only the first 6 numbers. I would say it's more like a bank signature showing which bank owns this card. And all other numbers are variable. They're unique, and they're created at the moment of creating this card by the bank. The same is true with CV code. You need to put at least 15 USDT on the card. Only after that it's created. And it's created not instantaneously. It can take 3-5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes. Okay, up to 10 minutes. You need to wait until the card is generated. To understand that it has been generated, please swipe the screen down by your thumb, update the application, and as soon as you see that you see the full number without any asterisks of your card, then it has been activated. And the 4th question from Alexey on Dex Mobile: how soon the site will have tariffs on the use of the communication? Now we are doing the closed beta testing with a limited number of participants. We have gathered guys from my Telegram channels, and based on their feedback, we're building everything correctly, how it should work. After we do all the internal tests, we'll move over to the public beta test, like it happens with the wallet, and then you will be able to see all the prices and tariffs, because the tariffs are super numerous. I will try to explain. The principle of Dex Mobile is that you can use both local e-cards, SIM cards, and regional, international, global SIM cards. It would already be 4 different areas. Each of these areas has sub-areas, like local cards would be all countries, like each country has its own local parts, and regional also split by region, then countries, not countries, but continents, for instance, and global one, it covers the whole world. And in each option, there are sub-options and a number of megabytes that you buy 1, 2, 5, 10, or unlimited. That would also expands the number of tariffs. So best way is not to put everything on the side, otherwise it will be a huge table. But to see it in the application, if you're interested in a particular region, you put it in the search engine, the region you're interested in, you see how much you'll have to pay for a certain number of gigabytes. Then, or if you want to buy megabytes, you want to buy them and see how much they cost. Thank you for your super system, but after the restoration of Safe by seed phrase, I've lost the coins. I'm waiting for the response from the tech support. You see, there's a very important thing. There are a number of such requests that we have received. We shall try to synchronize everything. Those requests, where we saw what was happening there, we saw that people are not restoring by seed phrase, but rather by the code phrase of restoration. These are 2 different things. At that moment of time, you don't restore the wallet, but rather create a new wallet. So if suddenly you have encountered such thing, first thing you need to do is to compare the addresses of the 2 wallets. I'm sure that you will see a new type of address, but take the seed phrase and make sure you restore it by seed phrase. If it doesn't work, let's do it together with the tech support. We had one interesting case like that. A person even recorded a video how it happens, and soon we're going to make a phone call to the person and see what really is happening with that person. I personally would like to see with my eyes on the smartphone of that person. That is why absolutely everything is highly individual. More questions about crypto cards. We have so many of them. Vitaly Tesla just punched in 15 questions in total. Okay, first thing, the payment of $30, is it one time or every year? It's a one-time payment for the period of the activation of the card. As soon as the card expires, you need to look at, let me see in my situation. So it's not annual, it's for the whole period of validity of the card. For instance, in my case, it's the card is created until 2026, so it's for 2 years. What are the commissions for the card? For replenishments, for the transfer of money, I already mentioned that, 2.5% for replenishment without promo code, or 2% with a promo code. Payments with the cards, we charge 25 cents per transaction, which is the conversion charge. We use the conversion rate of the bank that owns the terminal where you do the payment. By fact, you are the owner of a dollar-based card, which has the balance of dollars. And when you come to a supermarket and pay for something, pay for food, you sell to that bank that issued you the card. You sell dollars to the card by the exchange rate that bank has. The same is true about the ATM or the terminal. What are the limitations in the use of the card? What are the regular types of goods or services cannot be paid by card, like alcohol? Alcohol can be paid by the card. Everything depends on the country. And there are sanctioned countries where, unfortunately, MasterCard doesn't work. And perhaps it's not good to mention it live, but the thing is that some countries, okay, let me put it this way, there are MasterCards, but most interestingly, if you go with that MasterCard to another country, it won't work there. But within a given country, it works. So there is localized quasi MasterCard. I had such a situation when I couldn't pay with my Ukrainian card for air tickets in the United States. I called it tech support. It was in Monobank, and I explained the situation that it happens this way, and they couldn't give me a straight answer. They simply withdrew my money from the card and paid it with their card and sent me the tickets. But it happened like this because I had a premium level of my card. Another person would simply be receiving excuses, and that's it. Unfortunately, that's how it works. So there are no limitations to any groups of goods. There are certain merchants which are closed, but trust me, other cards will not work properly with that merchant either. Can I withdraw money from ATM if ATM has NFC terminal here? We need to test it. If you can test it, please test it, because I cannot give you an exact answer. Okay, an exact answer from the issuer of the bank is that no, you need a physical card to withdraw money, withdraw cash from ATM. But I would have experimented with that. Often when we're told by different companies and banks that it doesn't work, we tried it and it worked. That is why here it's highly individual. In what countries or jurisdictions this card doesn't work? It does work in all the sanctioned countries. But if we're talking about the payment through terminals, but still even in sanctioned countries, you can make payments through internet. Partnership program credits, are they done instantaneously, or is there some regulation? Ideally, we want to make it instantaneous. But what do we see now? The crediting of money are micro small in partnership program. And if we do it through blockchain, then we waste on the commission, which is higher than the accrual or crediting on the partnership program. So say somebody put, say, $15 on the card by paying 2% commission for that. That would be what, 30 cents. And from this 30 cents, half of a percentage, from 2% to half a percentage, is something that is paid into the partnership program for 21 levels. Try to imagine somebody gets a 1 cent into the partnership program, but in order to make this transaction, we need to pay a few more cents to the Binance Smart Chain, to BNB, to make such a transaction. That is why now we'll look at how to arrange it properly without losing decentralization. The easiest way, of course, would be just to accumulate balances and then make a withdrawal by a minimum amount where it would make sense to pay the commission. On the other hand, how to do it in the decentralized solution, how to make it on our blockchain is easy because commissions there will be very low and they will be negligible there. But until we switched over to our blockchain, we use Binance Smart Chain. And here we're thinking hard. Maybe we will install some centralized intermediary solution which will accumulate amounts and then it will be accrued after certain minimum is reached or threshold is reached. But I cannot tell you for sure now because we're still studying this and there is no exact final solution on how to do it in a decentralized way. But it's unlikely somebody else will come up with a solution. But to make it a centralized solution, well, maybe, but it's a very temporary or provisional solution. I simply dislike all the centralized solutions. Whatever is decentralized, I like. Whenever somebody can affect your solution, I don't like. Again, accrual from the partnership program is coming from the sale of the card and from the replenishment of the card. From the transactions, there are no crediting of money to your partnership program. What are the limits per day or month? There are limits up to $20,000, if I'm not mistaken, per day. Per month, you just multiply this amount by 30. But I'm not so sure. I will verify and come back to you with the answer. When will there be card for Android this month? In one of the updates had a function of coupon. Now, owing to that, we'll be able to give cards as gifts. No, it's not like that. This is an option for marketing companies, but there will also have some problems. That's why we have concealed that function until we come up with more workable, ironclad solution. So we're not going to disclose this option just yet with the coupons. Can the DexNet crypto card transfer money to other banks' cards? No. Can I replenish the card from the cards of other banks? No. Only USDT and only through BEP20 and only from the DexSafe wallet. Can I put money back to DexSafe? Yes, you can, but manually, only going through tech support. A bit later, we'll integrate it into your wallet. Can on one DexSafe wallet open a number of such crypto cards for members of my family? Yes, you can. Not necessarily for your family members, but for yourself. Without the whole system works without verification. But generally speaking, you can open one card for yourself, another card for your children, your wife, your loved ones, but replenish their balance from your DexSafe. And final question number 15. I've been testing this card in Ukraine. Varu Sashan, McDonald's, what is the problem? Yes, Vitaly, unfortunately, it is the problem of Ukraine being in the blacklist of the Federal Reserve System along with other sanctioned countries. That is why there is a problem with that, but the cards which we are integrating, we are going to test them further in Ukraine, but in theory, they will be able to be operational there. Vladimir is asking next question from Chernigov. Crypto card DexNet is going to be used only for cryptocurrency operations, or can it be used for different payments in payment systems? No, unfortunately, only for cryptocurrency operations. How is the physical exchange done in DexSafe, like the USDT and DexNet token? Is it done from xt.com exchange, or it's not connected? You take the conversion rate from the exchange, as I understand, but the buy-sale of the coin, where does it happen? In fact, for the exchange, we are connected to Pancake Swap. On Pancake, we have certain number of DexNet tokens and USDT tokens. And whenever there's an exchange is not done through xt.com, but through the decentralized exchange by API. This is an automatic exchange between decentralized wallet with a decentralized exchange. And question number 3 from Vladimir. For payments in a shop, do I need to have USDT on the wallet? And then the question is, how do I convert the money into the currency of the country? I think Vitaly Tesla already asked these questions. You need to replenish the card itself, and the conversion will be done by the conversion rate of the bank that owns the terminal that you use to make the payment. Tarasenko Mikhail is asking next question. Wish success to you and your corporation. Thank you, Mikhail. Question: what will be the percentage garnered by the validators of this, and how can I calculate the average value of this profit in rubles? As for validators of blockchain and other things, let's return to that a bit later, much later, when we reach the stage of launching blockchain on mainnet, because now we are in testnet on December 15th, when will be first anniversary of the company. We'll go to testnet, and closer to that stage, it will be more relevant. But I will answer your question anyway. What will be the percentage garnered by the validators? 90% from all the commissions. Absolutely all commissions will be evenly spread out among all the owners of validating DEX nodes. Once again, 90% from all the commissions will be evenly spread through all the validators. 10% will be sent to Genesis wallet. And how to calculate this amount, it's hard to tell, because everything depends on how many transactions we'll have. The more transactions we'll have, the bigger profit or returns will come to the validators, but the number of validators is highly limited. Initially, we'll have only 3,000 validating DEX nodes, out of which 2,500 will be readily sold to those people who will be among the first 1,500 of our early adopters. First 1,500 of our clients will have the possibility to buy this API key for this certain period of time. We'll give them some time, and if within this period of time they don't buy it, then we'll provide this API keys to other people, to 2,500 first user, and so on and so forth. But 500 more validators will be auctioned off here. The highest bidder will be able to buy this API key. Subsequently, I'm not sure whether we're going to expand the number of validating DEX nodes. If at a certain moment in time we'll hit the ceiling of the throughput capacity of our blockchain, when the transaction will take not fractions of a second, but say 3 or 5 seconds, and we'll see that we are not so competitive with other blockchains, then yes, we might add 500 or 1,000 more validating DEX nodes. Okay, next. Okay, Mikhail Tarasenko. You mentioned different cities, but it's the same person. Okay, next question comes from Mikhail. Can you please wait a bit before you start selling API keys, because it forces DEX node users to spend the just earned tokens. For your system, it would make more sense if people could buy DexNet tokens by paying for API keys, thus increasing the price of the token on the market. If we're talking about API keys for validating DEX nodes, then of course we're not going to make it readily available for buying. Only after, when DexNet is done, internally, before the launch, when we understand for sure that it's okay, and we are ready to launch the full-fledged blockchain, then we'll start selling API keys. So we're not selling them yet, and it's not that much relevant at the moment, because yes, we have announced that we are launching blockchain that will have validating DEX nodes, but it's too early to discuss it, trust me. Person is called Golden Sunray from the town of Mir. How are you planning to call the smallest undivisible part of DexNet, like Bitok Satoshi, for instance? To be honest, we haven't thought about that. Maybe we'll arrange, I don't know, a small poll or survey about that, and the person who will come up with the best option might earn a prize or something. But that's the idea coming from you. We haven't even thought about how to call the smallest indivisible fraction of our DEX token. Anton from Ukraine is asking next question. I would like to learn more about the validation of blockchain DexNet, how to be part of validators, and what are the numbers for the expected returns. Yeah, just covered that question. Galina from Latvia is asking next question. Will there be possibility to pay directly with a Visa card for validation key? Please make it possible so that partners from the elderly age could be able to make this payment. So this is a double question here. It's not really a great idea to connect Visa to that. Why? Because here we're talking about cryptocurrencies. Whereas if a person finds it difficult to pay for API key, next problem for them would be what to do with the token that will be credited to them. And if a person can sort it out himself, there might be a negative thing. Try to imagine a person bought an API key, paid it with a card, and validating node credited to him the mother coin of our blockchain, and then person doesn't know what to do with that, how to exchange it. Even if he exchanges it to USDT, he won't be able to know what to do with USDT and so on. It might create a lot of negative feedback. And the second thing, it's very dangerous to connect merchants for the processing of bank cards if there is a small number of transactions. We won't have that many transactions because we'll sell only 2,500 validating keys. And exclusively for this to connect Visa card would be first too expensive, additional commissions, and then we'll make it more vulnerable. There is such thing as chargeback request to return back the funds paid. If you go to the Visa for chargeback, you have 180 days to make it happen after the payment made. Then the Visa company can return this money to you. But what happens to the merchant? If we go over chargeback thresholds of 2% and we are disconnected, and the account is blocked, and before they investigate it, we are not going to get that account back. So the money is going to be frozen or maybe lost forever for us. And often the wrongdoers and competitors use this model when a young company is just connecting itself to the processing of bank cards. So you have only 100 transactions there. It's enough to make chargeback for 2 transactions to collapse your whole business and shut down your payment gates. That's why it's too dangerous for us. And generally speaking, in the world, it makes little sense. Moving on. Maya is asking next question. Please answer if nobody asked this before. I want to be a validator of DexNet blockchain, but my question is what blockchain validator needs to know what to do and how much of my time it's going to take. It's not going to take any of your time, actually. And to know something special, you don't need to know something special. Everything will be done on your behalf by your DEX node. The most important thing is to provide it with good quality internet and continuous power supply. That is all you need to do. All the rest is done by the DEX node, all the transactions and accruing this mother coin to you. Andre is asking next question. The price of the activation key is 1,500 USDT. If I pay by DexNet token, then it's 1,200 USDT. Can I pay for the DEX token and then pay with that token for the activation? But not now. We don't. We so far don't sell activation keys for DEX token, but you can buy API key to connect your DEX node to DexNet and for the centralized storage of the files and for deploying of services, you'll be credited DexNet tokens, with which you'll be able eventually to pay for the validating API key for the validating DEX node. Igor from Kiev is asking next question. What is the sequence of connection to the validators? 2,500 right away or stage by stage? No, we're going to distribute 2,500 API keys right away, and they will be made available to the first 2,500 people who bought DEX nodes. And then those people who won't buy into API keys, we are going to sell them to those people who bought their DEX nodes later. Next question. Vasily is asking next question. Hello, I made a prepayment to buy DEX node. Can I reject the buying of DEX node, pay more 1500 plus 500 USDT that already made, and buy validation key? Guys, this is a question for marketing company, not for us. It's very important to divide things because there is a company, DexNet. I'm Alexey Kedo, a CEO and co-founder of DexNet company. DexNet is developing the hardware and the software, and the company DexNet is not selling directly to anybody aside from the three marketing companies. There are marketing companies who are buying it wholesale from us and then using their own conditions, their own marketing plans, strategies, and so on and so forth. They sell it on, do on selling. So it's hard for me to answer your question this way. Secondly, there is no way yet to buy validation key yet. And moreover, if you decide to buy into DEX node, complete the purchase, install it at home, and you will be credited DexNet tokens right away. You'll be able to accumulate them enough and pay for validation key later on when it will be made available. It's an interesting story. You will be able to sell it on the exchange already, but the exchange maybe rate is not so good. It's better than the exchange rate when we just entered the exchange. It has grown almost by the factor of 3.5, but still it's not the limit. It's not even a starting price for our tokens. So it would be a pity if you sell it for cheap. Mikhail is asking next question. Hello, Alexey. First of all, I would like to thank you and your great team. Thank you for your solutions for full decentralization. You're really geniuses. And I'm happy that I'm part of the global family of DexNet technologies and promoting it all over the world. Thank you, Mikhail. I do not deserve to take all the credit for this, but my whole team does. My question is about API keys. To become the validator, what is the mechanics of the selling of these API keys? When are you going to provide detailed description of that? Mikhail, I've answered it a number of times already before. Previous questions were similar. That is why if you need more detailed description, let's do it through the chat after we go through the whole list of questions. Then we'll continue. Valery from Chisinau is asking next question. What needs to be done so that my DEX node is used for transactions in blockchain? I think I've answered that already. What tokens can be used to replenish DexSafe cards, to use them for payments in all the terminals? USDT BEP20, I already mentioned. The third question, when I add the card to Apple Pay, when scanning the card, the name of the card will be written Sunride card, and they require verification. I move over to the verification, and I'm given somebody else's phone and email for the verification. It's a very good question. Actually, it deserves more detailed answer. I tried to put in my name instead of the Sunride card, but the same thing happens. I'm given some strange phone and strange email. See, guys, the procedure works like this. Because this card is not connected to KYC or verification, it's different. I've already mentioned it a number of times today. What you need to do, when you swipe your card to the right in your smartphone, you can see the menu to run or operate the card. It's the same menu that you use to replenish the card. And there's Apple Pay icon. You click on the icon and you can put in your address and email. You put in your email and save it. And then when you connect your card to Apple Pay, you choose the verification through email. Yes, it's not your phone, it's not your email, it's the number of, it's the telephone number of the bank and their email. Mention this, but the letter, OTP letter, one-time password, will come to the email that you mentioned by clicking on Apple Pay icon. Once again, you go to DexSafe, you see the balance there of your wallet. You swipe it to the right, you see the card. No, left, swipe left. Once again, you swipe it left, you see the menu for setting the card. At the bottom, you can see Apple Pay icon. You tap on it, you put in your email, then manually you add it to Apple Card, you copy the number of the card, you copy the CVV card of the card and its expiration period or validity period. And then now you have to verify the card through SMS. And they mention some number and email. And it's not your email, it's not your number. You put your tick on email and you can verify within 5, maybe tops 10 minutes. You get one-time password on your email, which you need to mention there. We are going to prepare a more detailed instruction for that. We have prepared it already. We just need to make it more user-friendly and then send it out through all our official resources. And this instruction is going to be added to the wallet, and you'll be able to go through the whole process yourself. Okay, next. Question number 28 out of 80. Lena Belova is asking next question. Alexey, it's great that all your services have a partnership program. Is the partnership program going to be active when buying into validation? No, I think it makes no sense to add partnership program to validators because the partnership program is needed to attract new audience. By fact, those validation keys will be quite few, like 3,000 in total, and we in fact already know who are going to collect them. It will be either guys from the first 2,500 early adopters who bought Dex nodes, or the ones who bought it a bit later. So everybody wants to become a validator, so it makes no sense to attach it to any partnership program. And it's not going to be done continuously. It's one-time story. Maybe in another 5 or 10 years, we're going to connect 500 more keys to the validation nodes, but it's not going to be done continuously. And the second question from Elena, when are you going to open up the order for the card for Android? I guess this month, Elena. The internal deadline for us is next week. But as always, anything can happen. So let's agree that will be done before the end of the month. Another important thing about Androids. This card is not going to be operational in Pay Pass. When you just put your phone next to the device and pay it like with the Android device. Other cards which we're going to test, according to merchant claims or not mentioned by the issuers of those cards, that those cards will work with Huawei Pay, with Android Pay, with Google Pay, with Samsung Pay, Apple Pay, and other pays. So we're eager waiting for that card, and it will be more interesting for Android devices. But the card that we have to offer now, you can use it for online payments whenever you need to pay something in the internet. Okay, Azad from Dubai is asking next question. When can I withdraw tokens from Dex Freedom to DexSafe? Guys, questions about marketing companies, ask marketing companies about that. I have no answer to your question, to be honest. I don't know. Really. Asima from Kazakhstan is asking next question. On the right and the left side, I have 2 partners of my sister. Again, this is a question definitely for the marketing company. Sima, I'm sorry, I'm not going to read the full your question because it's definitely a question for the marketing company. Elena from Ukraine. Hello, I bought my Dex node as early as in March. I had to be part of the second distribution block, but I cannot collect it myself. How can I get it delivered to Ukraine to make sure that I end up in the second block as far as Ukraine is concerned? Guys, now we're opening in different countries. Our hubs, some kind of warehouses, if you will, or inventories where we'll have our Dex nodes. We'll have service centers there, the shipment points and delivery points. What else? And there, the packaging will be done. How does it work? We're not shipping out Dex nodes in assembled form. They are disassembled yet, and we send them as spare parts to places like that points of sale where specialists from different countries assemble them and install software there. Like some first shipment went from China to Ukraine, and they assemble it there and then send out to different delivery addresses. And that's how we are going to do for all the countries where we have quite a number of clients. Our Dex nodes have already been shipped to Ukraine. I mean, spare parts of the Dex nodes. I believe that middle next month, they will reach the point of destination. They will need some time for the assembly and the installation of software. And then next week, they will be distributed among the delivery addresses of the country. Ilona from Latvia is asking next question. Hello, please provide an answer on when can I get my DexNet Dex node, how much time is needed from the buying to the delivery to my home address. And she mentions her order number. The delivery is still pending. Earlier you said that delivery to Europe is no problem and can take ±1 month. Okay, I will try to answer this question. Rather, I will read out through, we'll read all other questions. Second question from Ilona. At what period of time you're going to make deliveries to Latvia and other EU countries for the Dex nodes which are bought after 5th of June? The information that buyers will have to fly to Dubai to do self-collection is ridiculous. And another thing that all the Dex nodes bought after 5th of June, it can be done only by self-collection from Dubai office. How soon are you going to provide a solution to that? Thank you. These are connected questions. See, Ilona, it's not so simple as it sounds. We are also opening a hub in Czech Republic now. And from Czech Republic, you'll be able to send it out within Europe. But what we have encountered when we send out 1, 2, 5 Dex nodes, there are no problems. But when we do it very frequently, all of a sudden, all sorts of questions start to pop up. And these questions really slow down the delivery process. For you to understand, hundreds of Dex nodes have been lost by the company when we try to deliver them to you. And it's not only the problem of the shipment or postal companies, but also our clients deserve the credit for that. Why? Because when a person comes to collect his Dex node and he receives a letter that asking him why you ordered this device, what are you planning to do with this device, what is the price of this device, we confirm the price of this. He says, I bought it for 1,500. And all of a sudden, it's not Dex node he bought, but the person bought the software and hardware complex. Software-hardware complex means that it's made up of the software part and hardware part. Hardware part has its own value. Software part has its value. But the difference here is that the software value is not charged with the customs duties, and hardware part is. And when you put it all together, saying that I bought it for 1,500, then the customs officers take it as, aha, so this device was bought by you for 1,500, then please pay 500 euros as customs duty. And the person says, no, I'm not going to pay this much. But the wrong information has been delivered already to the customs officers. Of course, this Dex node then is arrested, and then person writes to tech support saying, what's happening? Where's my Dex node? Why it hasn't reached my address? So the only possible option here is when we open our hubs or offices in different countries, and we as a business entity directly to that business entity ship out our devices, or from China, some spare parts or something from Dubai. They come to single point of sale, they assemble it, and then it's no longer made in Dubai, but made in Europe, for instance, or made in Ukraine, or made in India, or something else. And then after that, they start distributing it. Then we abandon these difficulties like that. Because of that reason, we mentioned that, guys, okay, please show your understanding. Please come and collect your Dex node if you can. We would be happy to deliver it to you, but such a difficulty. We could have done it differently. We could say that we have shipped it out to you. It's your problem. It's the problem of your customs officers of your country, but we are on your side. We have really lost a few hundreds of DexNet. It's, of course, it's not the prime cost of $1,500, but it's quite a significant amount of money lost. We simply have lost this DexNet, and we are sending you a new shipment, and we're looking for new options how to do it better for you. There are people who come to our office with understanding. They collect DexNotes for themselves, and they pick up a few DexNotes for their partners that they bring to their country and distribute it there. So we're trying to build this process is better. And if you need to make sure, absolutely sure, when you'll get it delivered, then I can answer it a bit later, because we're in the stage when many processes are just being arranged. I hope I have answered your question. Maybe there's not too much specificity here, but I did my best. Next question from Ilona. If the DexNote after the payment has not been sent out within the declared period of 1 month, then there should be compensation paid for the delay in tokens. There are no delays. It's not a problem for us to ship out the DexNote next day over. The problem is for you to get it. A second thing, it's very wrong practice, I think, to pay delay money, because some people start to switch off their DexNotes with low Dex rate. Why should they get it at the low Dex rate? Instead, they could say that their DexNote is on the fridge, so they haven't received their shipment yet, and this way they try to milk the company. That's the best word I can come with. Milk the company dry. But let's try not to be too selfish and think about each other as partners. People fail to understand one important thing. Of course, you can chip off some money from the company thinking about yourself only, but if everybody will do like this, we as a company will simply die, because everybody will take a bite out of us. In turn, who you're going to harm like this? Of course, you will harm me, because it's my life's work, but at the same time, that person will harm himself or herself, because there won't be DexNotes, no tokens, no prospects for the future development. So let us try to remain to be mutually beneficial partners, and let's try to see eye to eye on that. And better still, let's look in the same direction. Bogdan from Ukraine is asking next question. When and how the DexNotes are going to be delivered to Ukraine? I've answered this question already before, Bogdan. I think about a week and a half, and you will get it. How are you going to get DexNotes to Ukraine? I've already answered this before. Question about India.
When will get device to India Manipur office?
Guys from India asking when will we get our device in Indian Manipur office. We have shipped them out already. We have shipped out the spare parts. They will be assembled together in Manipur, and then our office in India is going to distribute it there. So the process is ongoing. I guess it can be next week. Moving on. Oleg from Poland. My number of my offer 2038. Delivery country is Poland. Please tell me when will I get it at my home address. Oleg, I think it's better for you to solve it either through your mentor, the person who recommended this technology in the marketing company, or through our tech support. But anyway, DexNote is going to be delivered to you one way or another, or a bit later from our hub in Czech Republic. Alexander from Kiev is asking, please tell us, our partners are getting nervous about the delivery. You shouldn't be nervous. We are quite capable of finding a solution to that. So please don't fret about it. It's a matter of time. Rima is asking next question. Why is it so difficult now to ship out an order to the buyer? I don't understand your question, Rima. You need to specify maybe, or it's just back to the original question, why you don't get it on time. Marjan from Astana is asking next question. Hello. Are you going to resume mailing Dex nodes, or we'll have to do it self-collection. By small batches, we ship it out to Kazakhstan. So far, we ship them out. Dex tokens are being charged to those people who have bought them, but we still haven't received Dex nodes and we haven't plugged them in yet. Okay, let me read it once again. While Dex nodes are still coming, Dex tokens are credited to those people who bought them, but they still haven't received Dex nodes and haven't plugged them in. Marjan, to be honest, I don't understand your question. If you're on the webinar, please specify your question in the chat. And your third question is how to connect Dex Mobile if Dex node has not arrived yet. Dex Mobile can be connected irrespective of whether you have the Dex node or not. You need to understand that the Dex nodes are needed to Dex Mobile, not for your house itself, but they need to be placed all over the world, because those Dex nodes do the encryption and decryption of the traffic that you send to mobile operator through our eSIM cards. This is what makes your communication and connection very secure. For that, you don't need to own the Dex node. You just need an eSIM card, Dex Mobile, which you can get in a mobile application, which is being tested through closed test session by our test group. As soon as we finish with the tests, we are going to roll it out, and then you'll be able to activate the eSIM card. You'll be able to buy it for USDT and DexNet tokens and switch it on and use it without the need to own Dex node at home. Vyacheslav, it's already question number 41. So we are over the equator with a number of questions in just a little over 1 hour. Vyacheslav is asking next question. How can I find out whether I'm part of the first 1,000? I paid for it on 10th of April of 2024. Payments for the waiting of the Dex node stopped coming. The number of my order is 2,474. Please go to the tech support and find it out for sure. But as far as the number of order, it's unlikely that you're part of the first 1,000, because the number of your order is 2,474, as you said, which is much more than 1,000. When can I expect the update of the DexSafe for Android? There is no way from the personal cabinet of DexSafe to pay with a crypto card. Yes, I already mentioned it before, maybe before the end of the month. I heard that the payment crypto cards doesn't work in Russia. When are you going to chase out this bug? Okay, guys, the thing is that that crypto cards don't work in Russia. It's just Visa and MasterCards don't work in Russia, but MasterCard doesn't work in Ukraine, for instance, either. That's the way it is. Alexey is asking next question. When I add the card to DexSafe in USDT BEP20, USDT, you need to send it to USDT BEP20. From what date we'll be able to buy Dex mobile card? Let's not press me with the deadlines very soon, but now we already have a closed testing group out of 15 or 20 people who are testing this application among our clients, who we handpicked from my Telegram channel. When will it work from Google Pay, not on KE file? At what month? Because Google Play doesn't let us in. Keep saying that mining on smartphones is banned by them. But it's the question for the specialists of Google Play, because we're not doing mining for smartphones. We keep trying to explain to them how it works, and they don't want to understand. So we're changing this application, trying to come in from another side. If it works, then it's going to happen very soon in the coming few months. Maybe not this month, but if it happens, maybe in subsequent months. If it doesn't work, then we'll look for more options. Altai from Baku is asking. Next question. Hello, I'm interested whether you're planning to develop gaming infrastructure. Yes, we want and we will. I know how to attract game fans. I've been in the gambling business for many years. I wrote to tech support, but nobody answered me. Please, let's arrange an appointment. I'm now in Saudi Arabia, in the town of Al Ufuf, 5-hour drive to you. Altai, thank you for your offer. I've already been passed the information about your question. As far as I know, you were even sent out a contact detail from my assistant. I'm going to specify it, but I'm sure that we'll be able to communicate about that very soon. It's just that gambling business, gaming business for us is not about gambling, but rather in terms of bringing some benefits to people who do gaming. Because if we look at gaming from the position of gambling, many regulators will simply prohibit it because it's highly regulated story. I wouldn't want to be part of that. And the direction that we're going to develop in the gaming industry of DexNet is not going to be really linked to bids or gambling, or rather application of a token within the game. You can lose it, you can earn more of it, but it's not the same as gambling here. It's less about gambling. Okay, moving on. Kemal from Dubai is asking next question. How can I learn more about Dex nodes? Kemal, now is not the time to waste time on that because there are plenty of video recordings in different languages and webinars. So it would be better for you to pour yourself a cup of coffee, open up YouTube, or maybe ask those people who told you about Dex nodes what you should read and watch, and with all the time available to you, you read and watch all of it. Andre is asking next question. I've received 3 Dex nodes from the first 1,000. One of them doesn't work. The key I received didn't work. Guys from tech support told me that this key has been used by a third party. That's outrageous. Can you please block that Dex node who activated with my key? I want to have all 3 of my Dex nodes as validators. Yes, I'm aware of your story, Alexey. We need to replace your Dex node. We need to replace your DexNet. Yes, our guys are also aware of that. So we are going to replace your Dex node. Maybe you can go to tech support once again and update this information, because we already have Dex nodes available, and we have received the batch, and guys can provide replacement. Maxim from Belarus is asking next question. Okay, I'm a farmer. I own 2 houses in the country. They're standing apart from each other. I installed 2 Dex nodes in 2 houses. I need to check out the alternative communication channel at 1515 megahertz. Maybe I should put them over on the roof to see how they communicate with each other as Dex nodes. And to continue on the same question from Maxim, can Dex node work as a simple Wi-Fi modem on radio channel? See, Maxim, the only thing you need to do first, you need to understand what is the distance between the 2 houses. If it is under 5 kilometers through direct vision, then radio channel will already be set up and they will be communicating with each other. If the distance is higher, then we'll be able to communicate. If there's a barrier in form of concrete walls, they won't be able to communicate either. If this distance is 1 kilometer, no matter whether it is concrete walls, not concrete walls, but you're saying it's you're living in the country, so within 1 kilometer distance, or even 2 or 3 kilometers through the walls of your house, it's more likely that they will connect. But you need to experiment with that. What are we doing with that? We are observing how Dex nodes are placed in different places, and we see which ones of them are communicating with each other and which are not. We don't have a task to communicate or connect all of them. Our main task is to place them as broadly and widespread as possible. We have people coming to our company asking, please give us the Dex nodes. We're going to place them in on the roofs of the houses to make sure that they cover all the distance. But then it won't be a decentralization per se, because if all those Dex nodes that cover each other belong to the same person, or one company or group of people. At one moment, they think better of it, they switch all of them, and we'll lose one cluster of information. We want our DEX nodes to work naturally. They're placed as they're going to be placed in the future. And only then we'll look which nodes are communicating with each other and how it is going to work. Now, we're not at the stage when everything is ready and we deploy the existing working model. We're in a situation when we are trotting this new path. It's new for us, and we look at all the vulnerabilities. We look at what is going to work, what is not going to work. So for sure, it's not the matter of this month, and more likely it's not the matter of even this year. I'm being honest with you. Next question, whether DexNet can work as a regular modem by radio communication. Yes, when they connect by radio communication channel, they can. But we use LoRa-1 communication. It has very low throughput capacity. You cannot compare it to the throughput capacity of your home-based LAN internet. So to make sure that you can use the services which are deployed in decentralized service, it's not enough to use only one or two DEX nodes and their communication with each other. The communication which we have, you'll be able to share some messenger message or something, but you won't be able to watch a movie. For that, you need to have more DEX nodes around your DEX node. Then the throughput capacities are put together like a torrent principle. The more DEX nodes are deployed around your DEX node, then the throughput capacity will grow. Then something interesting will start. But even now, I cannot tell you for sure which number of DEX nodes is required for you to get throughput capacity, say X, because those DEX nodes will be used not only from your DEX node, but others as well. There will be a division of that throughput capacity. So we're walking this path together with you. It's a new path for all of us. And let's return to that in a year's time when we'll place around DEX nodes. We'll understand what the real throughput capacity between all the nodes is and which services will be able to fully work without internet. Better still, let's return to that in 5 years' time. Then we'll have a lot of DEX nodes and the throughput capacity will be very broad. Next, Maxim is asking next question. Somebody asked me what smartphone I own. I said Samsung. Then person was asked, why don't you buy iPhone? I say that I'm happy with the functions of Samsung. Can you tell me, please, about the functions of DexNet and the capacities of its expansion? I think there were a lot of webinars about this, Maxim. I suggest we don't waste time on that because even 30 minutes won't be enough to answer your single question here. You can easily find answer to your question on YouTube. Mikhail is asking next question. Hello, Alexey. Why, with the absence of power, DexNet? Alexey, why during when the power is down, DexNet connected through power bank gets the power, but it's not shown on the network because it has two other channels of communication, but those two communication channels are required for service information and not for the exchange of memory blocks. Once again, DexNet must be connected to the LAN internet, centralized internet, because through that centralized internet, we are transferring packages of data. For instance, whenever there is a need to upload a file, this file is encrypted into a container, which is split down into parts and fractions, and it's then sent out through LAN. But through GSM and LoRaWAN, we just send service information, metadata. So whenever power is down, it's very important for your Wi-Fi router or router has also power supply or power bank supply. It's more likely that your internet provider has power because service usually are working on uninterrupted power supply. Next, Johnny is asking next question. Hello, I bought 2 DEX nodes. What would be the best way to place them together or about 8 kilometers one from each other? 8 kilometers would be too far away from each other. They won't be able to see each other, or only through the amplification antennas. but you don't have it as part of your package. Well, you can put them together or 8 kilometers from each other because there might be some other DEX nodes in between after some time. So it doesn't make any difference. Two DEX nodes standing together are not going to affect your DEX rate. If you have more than two, it might affect your DEX rate, but still it rather depends on how many such individual decentralized DEX nodes we have, which are put in groups. Going deeper into it, I'm afraid not to go too technical. Okay, as soon as we have started with that, I will explain. You can put together your DEX nodes by 5, 10, 12, 100, put them together and look at DEX rate. In which case, DEX rate is going to drop only in case when in our network, aside from your 10 DEX nodes, we won't have 5 more DEX nodes which are placed separately. Like, for instance, if you have 10 DEX nodes in one place, then you must have at least 50 DEX nodes which are individually placed everywhere. Then what does our algorithm do? It sees that here we have 10 DEX nodes and 50 DEX nodes are distributed. Those 10 DEX nodes won't have the same copy of the file. They will be placed everywhere. And in your DEX nodes, you will have only copies of the files. You will have those copies of the files or fragments of the files whose copies are copied on 50 other DEX nodes. Then you will have one DEX rate. But if it's not distributed like this, if you say 50, I just took the backup because we have 5 copy files. If it is 38 and not 40, then your DEX rate will go down a bit because it's already quite risky. It's a cluster where we won't have 5 copies stored, but say 4 real copies because 2 are stored on your farm, made out of number of DEX nodes. So it's not a problem if you put them together. But if you see that DEX rate is dropping, put them separately. At least remove a number of things from your farm. Next, Leonid from Latvia is asking next question. Earlier at the presentations, you spoke about 4 communication channels, now only 3. What happens to Swarm module? It's an interesting question. Why node cannot be connected to the router by Wi-Fi, but only by cable? Okay, they're not connected. This question's okay. Question number 1 about Swarm communication. We have abandoned this about a year ago. What it started with is that initially Swarm allowed us to unify all this technology, but Swarm is the centralization point. Tomorrow, say SpaceX decides against cooperating with us and will collapse. It's an unacceptable story for us. That's why we agreed to cooperate with Swarm, because it was the only way to basically launch our technology. Next, on 50 DEX nodes, we deployed Swarm. We launched those DEX nodes. In the same 50 DEX nodes, we have integrated GSM modules. The other 50 DEX nodes were installed without Swarm, but only with GSM module. In the first 50 DEX nodes with the Swarm module, we have deployed a module of mobile operator. Next 50 DEX nodes were connected with each other, not through Swarm, but through GSM channel. As soon as the next 50, so a total of 100 DEX nodes, were already in GSM, the first 50 were disconnected from Swarm. This way, 100 DEX nodes have logged themselves to GSM and continue to serve themselves. All other DEX nodes continue working without Swarm, but with the GSM. And this way, we have abandoned the centralization of Swarm. Now, we became even more invulnerable. Why DEX node cannot be connected to router through Wi-Fi, but only by cable? Actually, you can, because my personal DEX node is connected by Wi-Fi, not by cable. But it's an experimental story because the connection by Wi-Fi is of poorer quality than by cable. We see that even cable communication can be lower than expected, but Wi-Fi even lower than that. So it's unlikely that we're going to switch over to the mode when a node will be able to be connected by Wi-Fi, because the throughput capacity narrows down and we're losing packages this way. The communication is highly unstable. That is why we're looking towards making sure that our node is becoming a Wi-Fi router, because the node has an integrated Wi-Fi module. That is why it would make more sense so that the Dex node works as a Wi-Fi router. You will remove your Wi-Fi router. Instead, you connect your Dex node to the cable, and that Dex node will distribute Wi-Fi. But when we launch it like that, we see that Wi-Fi with a big load of connected starts to steal resources of the processor, and those resources are required container which are stored there. That's why we decided against this option again. The Dex node works the way it is when you connect it by LAN to your Wi-Fi router, and it works like that. Perhaps, well, not perhaps, but I just don't want to make it too early an announcement. We already are actively working on this, and we started on this about 8 months ago on the second generation Dex node. There, maybe we'll make it more of a reality, like a real full-fledged Wi-Fi router. But don't count on it just yet, because that would require maybe 1.5 years to develop. So it's not so quick when we'll have the next generation Dex node. And the third question, application Dex point, what kind of memory does it use? The operational memory of 6 gigabytes and 256 gigabytes. In the settings, you can use the maximum 4 gigabytes. Here, Leonid, are two options you have. You either use the downloaded APK file for Android, the obsolete one. Please update it to new one, because limitation of 4 gigabytes was a test limitation. Now the load on Dex point files is not that high. Dex points are required for Dex Cloud, and Dex Cloud is being better tested. We're just preparing to deploy it, and as soon as Dex Cloud is going to be rolled out, then we'll feel a real benefit from Dex point. There, you'll be able to, in the updated file, increase the limit to 10 gigabytes. Maybe we'll increase it even more, maybe, but only when we see that we have hit the ceiling. We have about 25,000 installed DexPoint applications, and we can see the size of memory that we can use. But most interestingly, we see that in the cloud, we don't have that much of memory used, which is available through DexPoint. That is why now, for our company, DexPoint makes no real technical sense. But as soon as we roll out Dex Cloud, we will need it. And then we'll be able to maybe move around the memory and make it more than even 10 gigabytes. Another important thing, it might happen that your device has only 4 gigabytes left, and DexPoint suggests that you give to us only the memory available to you. But your question was more than you have an obsolete APK file. Artyom from Canada is asking question one. I click on the site to download the application to Android. This site is just updated, and the click for iPhone does it work? No, let me read it again. Why, when I click on the site to download the application to Android? Artyom, if you're on webinar, please paraphrase your question. Which site and which application? Because we have many sites and quite a number of applications as well. Okay, Mikhail from Israel. Alexey, you often say that each information has to be checked and verified, and we need to trust only what is officially published on the DexNet site. DexNet site says that CPU page 356, but on the DexFreedom site it says that it's 8-core unlogic Cortex, and it's not the only inconsistency. Okay, guys, for core 3556, at the moment when we were launching only, there were 5 different generations of Dex nodes, 5. And in one of the generations, we used 8-core processor iLogic. Another one used 4-core Rockchip. And we were using different processors. And it looks like the DexFreedom has some obsolete information. So please go to the marketing company. But guys are looking at this webinar and they have seen it and going to rectify it. Generally speaking, what it makes sense to look into is the white paper. which has more reliable information. Maybe we have some updates already with different tasted bits, which haven't been added to white paper. We will add them, of course, but all the official information is DexNet.1. Marketing companies also provide official information, but sometimes there might be inconsistencies like this because information gets obsolete. For some people, it's not a matter of principle, but you have noted this. Oh, okay, thank you for the feedback. Who should we believe? Believe me, trust me. Okay, the technology is sharing all the templates, but maybe you should do it with a truthful information, because I repeatedly get answers from the technical specialists that it's a sham. It's hard to call it a sham because a sham is a copy of something, right? And aside from us, nobody else does this. We cannot be a sham by definition. We are an original. The issue is that we're in the very beginning of the development story. There might be some information which might differ from one from another. We are improving and fine-tuning it, of course. So owing to you and your feedback, we every day are becoming better. Larissa is asking next question. Tell us, please, is there going to be partnership program for validators? I've answered this question before. Not likely, Larissa. There's no sense in that. Alexander is asking next question. Is there a possibility to use only one referral promo code to recommend all the services, wallet, cloud, mobile, and others? It would be more useful to put it on your business card. Yes, that's exactly what we're going to do. Your promo code that you will have in DexSafe, that will be a single promo code for all our services. And DexSafe is, how do I put it? It's hard to call it a single window through which you will get all the partnership payouts, but this is the same point. Okay, we have 3 marketing companies, and also we have DexSafe. So in marketing companies, they have partnership programs depending on the number of sales you do and the sale of big services. All the minor services are going to be paid out through DexSafe. I will explain simply why. Okay, if you take DexSafe, DexSafe has 21 level of partnership programs. Marketing companies, we pay out up to 50 and even more percentage, even more than 50% to marketing companies. And we take, for instance, Dex Mobile. We have our wholesale price for the traffic that we buy. We still have to buy the traffic, right? What we do with that and what is the difference from others is that we encrypt it, and that this traffic can be connected to all the basic stations of any mobile operators all over the world. But the traffic itself, we buy it. And this way we don't harm mobile operators. They love us. We don't compete with them, and so on and so forth. It's a correct economic model. But the traffic that we buy, we need charge commission on that, and charge the commission for our profit, and charge commission to pay out to the marketing companies. And to make payouts to 3 existing marketing companies, we need to have quite a big upcharge. This way, we can become very uncompetitive on the market, because not everybody understands what is secure communication, what does it mean when it's encrypted. Everybody will be compared to regular communication tariff, and we'll lose the competition then. That's why we cannot make too much charge. And 21 levels, for instance, in the marketing program, when 25% is paid in DexSafe, through this partnership program, all these services will enter with micropayments. Micropayments, what does it mean? Say software, hardware complex, or API key. API key costs 1,500 USD. Okay, it's an interesting story to go and recommend people buy it, and big payouts to a partnership program. But if there are $3 for SIM card with the coverage of communication, and there will be a micropayment, or then we'll have to make sure that this tariff is, say, $10 to make sure that we pay it out to marketing companies. So we decided that for large, bulky parts like Dex nodes or validation keys or some other stories, everything will be run by, not validation keys, but API keys. Everything will be run by marketing companies. But replenishment of cards, for instance, of the DexSafe, I'm talking about microsense, is going to be done through DexSafe. That's why, yes, for such services, the single accumulation point will be DexSafe, along with the partnership program. Okay, next, Alexey from Lviv. Let's get next question. Can I pay by product deposit my participation in the support of the network as of August 1st? Product deposit in the marketing company, I guess, right? It's hard for me to answer this question because so far we don't have a final decision on how we're going to sell the keys for the validation DEX nodes. I believe that closer to August 1st, we'll make a decision. Where can I get more detailed information about partnership programs during the promotion of the company on DexSafe and eSIM? More detailed information for the promotion. Okay, in the DexSafe, you can find one single partnership program, classical partnership program. In the actual DexSafe, you have the full description of that. You enter it, and you will see that detailed description there. Can I, in the work of tech support, identify the period or deadline for finding the solution? Because like every 3 days, because it's very hard whether they're working on your question or not. Yes, it's a very good request, very good note, Alexey. But I don't know how to answer it. Now, what do? We want to make sure that in the chat on the site of DexNet.1, we see the full story of communication. Otherwise, when you enter it as a client, you either come back with the same question. It's better when you have the history of communication. You need to understand some questions are hard to assess, like, for instance, time-wise. How much time will it take to find a solution? Ideal version, of course, would be you as a client are told that you will take, say, 7 days. And within 7 days, the question is solved. And but it's hard sometimes to assess the difficulty of the question because you often come with quite unconventional questions or requests. And the first line support, when they understand that it's a technical question, they send it to the second line tech support. The second line support gets it run through program developers, depending on the process. And the decisions on your questions are highly individual, but usually the understanding of when they will be able to solve it comes in the process of solving. So, okay, we'll try to issue this tentative wait time. If we cannot come with a tentative period of waiting, then we'll ask the tech support guys to call you back and tell you that they're working on it, that will come back to you after some time. We want to make sure that we work properly because sometimes we get some requests or questions get lost. Our messenger that allows us to send all the information DexNet.1 into a single CRM system. It's not our development, it's Juvo Chat. It's a third-party service. Often we simply lose people's questions and messages. Now we're thinking about using a ticket-based system. It will be our own in-house built from the ground system, but it's not going to be in real time. When you write it and tech support has some time to answer it, it's not going to be too quickly. So we're trying to fine-tune this processes. We already have good specialists for that. We use them for tech support. Anyuta is asking next question. Hello, can I buy? Hello, can I buy installments because I don't have full amount in cash? I will work and pay in installments. Please help. I really want to own such a device. I will solve many of my financial problems. Thank you in advance. Best regards, Anyuta. Okay, I understand your question, but to buy DexNode in credit, basically, because I don't have enough cash, I will have to work and pay in installments. Okay, I guess that first thing, no, we're not going to sell it by credit because we cannot verify you. We do not verify our clients. We don't have mechanism to protect ourselves from if you default on your installment payments. Second thing, if you don't have enough money to buy the DexNet together with API keys then you simply must go into business. The installments won't help you with that, because as long as you don't have cash, you won't have it in future. You need just to change your mindset and start doing business as soon as possible. If you don't have enough funds to buy DexNet, start with something else. Start with the card, start with DexSafe. There are services that we can already start your business with. So start building your business. You'll earn money to buy the DexNet, and then you solve many of your problems, not only with the DexNet, but many other things. Next question, can I buy it in credit? Anna asks the next question. No, I already answered it. Alexander is asking next question. Hello, a week ago, I sent my question to the tech support about the opening an office in Germany, but I still haven't received an answer. Can you answer my question, Alexander? About our office in Germany, there was quite a big number of offices. Everybody wanted to open their office in the country, but you need to understand that an office in the country is like a face of the company, it's our reputation. So we cannot now allow to open offices here, because it should be fully controlled as a process by us, and we can control only a limited number of offices, because each office has to go through due diligence and everything. We go through such due diligence with India, with Ukraine, with such office that we open in Czech Republic. We do due diligence also with our office in Germany. Whereas if we open one office in Germany, we cannot open next office until the first office doesn't hit the ceiling of the number of DexNet that they sell. Now, I can say that we are fully set with a certain number of offices that we open. Then we're going to fine-tune our business arrangements with them. Then we'll become more stable with those offices, and then one bit at a time, we're going to open new offices elsewhere. So I have to apologize if we did not answer your question right away about your offer to open a new office, but there are people who have already launched our offices in the country. For instance, I liked very much how the office in Czech Republic worked. A person did not come to us with a question what I need to do to open an office. He said that I've received all the necessary permits to bring your DexNet to Europe, to the European Union. I got all the certificates. I got it past the customs to get customs clearance at the border. And based on these documents, can I please do this? Of course, to such an individual, we cannot say no, because he has done everything already. And he came to us with a ready solution, telling us, please give me notes. These are the people like that we start doing business right away. And the possibilities to start opening offices are all over the place now. The opportunities that we are physically able to control, together with the people who open them, to make them stable. After that, of course, we'll do some more offices. Okay, question number 60. Alexey, maybe you already did presentations in the banking sector. I hate banks, because banks are the biggest hooligans and scammers in the world. But briefly, can you please classify the product and how banks can use DexNet products? In fact, the whole banking system is created to keep us as slaves. Those of you who don't understand this, please understand this. That is why cryptocurrency appeared. That's why DexNet appeared. We try to abandon all the centralized solutions. I have full right to say this about banks, because I've been a bank of many banks, and I hate them fully, all of them, because of one simple reason: I don't keep my money there. And when I kept my money there, I had to be like an idiot and explain why I need to do withdrawal from my own bank account. I gave them my money to keep them on my account, and I have to beg them to give the money back to me. So I'm not going to work with the banking system if I can help it. Maybe I'm quite rude in how I answered, but you shouldn't take it personally, Valeria. I just hate banking systems. Victor from Warsaw, is there a wholesale offer for development companies, the number of when maybe they can share some percentage of the returns from tokens, say 80% to the owners of the apartment, 20% to us. And now we're already in negotiations with big development companies. There are small development companies that we want to test it with, but we're still in the process when we haven't chased out all the bugs. The options offered to us by development companies, we're not happy with them because we want to have the centralized way. But here, it's more centralized. Like some development companies, for instance, don't really want to share tokens with the owners of apartments, saying that we want to collect all of them. Then I understand that if a single person gets 1,000 DEX notes, one thing is when these DEX notes are collected by a single person and that person is not going to use services, they don't need so many tokens. So for sure, he's going to sell it on the exchange and will put a lot of pressure on the price that nobody wants. And we want the development companies to work like this, when the DEX node would belong to the owner of the apartment, and the development company will get some cut out of this for organizing this. On the one thing, we agree with the development companies, but when they try to look into it and understand the value of the token, saying, no, we want to keep everything ourselves and then we're going to sell. And we understand that we don't need that. So we're still trying to strike a good business arrangement with them. As soon as we work out this schematic with at least one development company, then we'll make an announcement saying that we have such and such company at such condition, and we can replicate it or scale it up elsewhere. Evgeny is asking you next question. Hello, can you please tell us when eSIM is going to be made readily available? Already answered that. Please tell us about USDT and DexNet token staking in DexSafe. Yes, we have such plans, but to be honest, we haven't even started to solve it. We're going to finalize all the currently running issues. Then we're going to start with the staking on DexSafe. Yes, we'll have staking availability for tokens and USDT in DexSafe, because there is a possibility to work with the staking in USDT. What other tokens are planned for launch in DexSafe, and what are the conditions for that? Thank you very much for the question, Evgenia. That will be only DexNet token and mother coin of our blockchain and USDT. No other tokens are going to be let into us, because we see no way for us to multiply them safely for us and for you. A question from Minsk. Is there information about when the staking is going to be launched? I so far cannot come up with the deadlines for that. Andrei, hello. I own a number of accounts for Dex Notes and Dex Freedom, and I have accumulated quite a number of Dex tokens there. How do I transfer them to DexSafe? And when will we have staking in DexSafe? I've answered this question, and we don't have information about it yet. How can I transfer it? That's a question for Freedom, but as far as I know, everything is quite straightforward. You just simply withdraw them and put them there. That's it. Alexander from Antalya is asking next question. When will there be a possibility to put tokens for staking from us outside? Is there statistics of sold DEX nodes, and how many DEX nodes online? How many of them do you see as a first global goal? Now we have sold 2,751 DEX nodes at this moment in time. And as for how many of them are online, the first global goal for us was 1,000 DEX nodes online. We have launched it. We needed it to roll out DexSafe, Dex mobile services. Everything above that would be distribution of the load and would allow us to use the cloud. Now, for instance, we have a customer for 5 petabytes of data, 5 petabytes, but we cannot satisfy that customer's needs. For that, we need to grow in terms of the number of devices. So we want to upgrade the number to cover 5 petabytes, but it's not the first global goal. It's more like intermediate objectives that we have, after which we will connect new clients and new services will be launched. Generally speaking, the ideal picture of the world that I have in my mind is 1 billion or more DEX nodes distributed all over the planet. Then it would allow us to increase the LoRaWAN throughput capacity and unite DEX nodes with each other and have highly stable, colossal cloud, because to disconnect 1 billion DEX nodes would be simply impossible. That is why that would be our global goal, 1 billion DEX nodes. How much time it will take, I don't know. It depends on a number of factors, but we're going to reach it anyway. Yuri from Chernigov is asking next question. When there will be full instruction about DexSafe and its functionality, when are you going to start staking? The video in tutorial on DexSafe is being prepared. Staking too, we're preparing it. We have other more burning issues to work on for DexSafe. AFI is asking next question. I bought a package for 500 in Dex Freedom. It allowed us to fix the price for the Dex node for 1 year. A bit less than 1 month. I paid full amount for the DEX node. When I paid for the order, I gave the order to pay 145 for more than a week. I cannot find a solution for that. Dex Freedom told me that DexNet is finding a solution for it. I want to collect the Dex node from the office and connect it. Go to the tech support in DexNet. I know with the Dex Freedom, they have quite a number of devices that have fixed the price like this. We didn't do any technical solution for that because it was a one-time sale promotion. So please do it through tech support and we will manually correct the sales price for you. Sergey is asking next question. Tell us, please, how do you credit tokens for the first, second, and third 1,000 DEX nodes? Those people who bought it first or those who connected it first? I, for instance, bought it on 26th of January. It's the second 1,000. Will I still keep the bonus? See, guys, we did only for the first 1,000, not those who have activated the DEX nodes, but who bought it first, because there were people who did not really know how to work. They bought API key from the marketing company, thought it would be enough, but they didn't think that the DEX node had to be connected or activated or simply ordered on DexNet.1 by mentioning the address of delivery. Many people didn't understand how it should be done. Well, not many, but some people didn't understand how it should be done. So for the first 1,000 early adopters, we said that those guys who bought it first, they are part of the first early adopters. But it's not that important for us to sell the DEX node. Most important for us is to connect it to the network. Just a DEX node sold, it's nothing about for us. Well, it's some money for the company, it's important, but we are all about technology, not about the money. So we need the DEX node connected to the network. And we're still looking at the activation of the DEX node in the DexNet.1 cabinet. You activate DexNet on DexNet.1. It doesn't mean that you end up in the first, second, third block. It simply means that you have ordered the DexNet, and as soon as it comes to you, you connect it to the network, initiate it in the network, then you end up in one of the blocks. That's the whole idea. Galina is asking next question. For what period of time can I get my money paid back to me? If every second you sell every token right away, you can count it price-wise. What is the buying price on the exchange? You can calculate it, but I do not recommend you do that, because then you will sell it for cheap, and it will take you much longer than those guys who keep the token for now and sell it for $1 more expensive, less expensive, I don't know, on the fair price that they agree with. And then they will not simply get their money paid back to them, but the payback period will be really short and will get even more in return. So there is no exact answer to your question. Andrei is asking next question. According to the auditing of tokenomics, DexNet got a high assessment evaluation, but not top evaluation. It was 15 out of 18.5 points. Did you get the explanations from the auditors why you didn't get the top marks? Yes, The whole audit with the diagrams is available for perusal. Maybe I will even provide a copy on my Telegram channel, so that if you don't have it at hand, everything described there. Generally speaking, using simple words, we didn't get 3A out of 3 available A's because it's cryptocurrency. That's the only thing, if we summarize it. But to get more precise answer, you need to read the auditing statement. Sergey is asking the question, when are you going to launch the contract, or is it launched? Which one of them? Because we have so many contracts, some of those have been launched, others are work in progress, others are being prepared. So please specify. Gilvia from Budapest. I'm going to translate it right away. It's in English. When do you forecast the increase of the exchange rate? Now it's going down. When? Well, you need to understand the exchange rate is shaped up by the difference between the supply and demand. If the supply, if demand is higher than the supply, then the exchange rate is up, and other way around. We started with, say, 1 cent. Now we're already at the level of 4 cents per token. There was some drop to 3.3. Now we are already 3.6. But generally speaking, you need to understand that the serious growth will start in the 2 stages. First stage, when we will launch services, and the token will have designation. Now you can already use tokens to pay for the cards, but there are no instructions, so people are just testing them. As soon as people sort out the services, we expect some upsurge in the growth. I don't know how big it will be. Next, we're preparing a very serious PR company related to lottery for Lamborghini. And that marketing PR company is going to be directed at token and testing of blockchain. And as a result, the whole cryptocurrency community through the testnet of our blockchain will learn about the token and show interest to the token, understanding that there are a lot of services behind this token. There are a lot of technologies, there are a lot of DEX nodes behind this token. And that's where we expect a real boom. Those who knows about token? Only those people who buy DEX nodes, and people mostly buy the DEX nodes only to make more tokens and sell it on the exchange, and that's it. It's a bit different approach. It's in a more consumer approach. I'm not being critical now. It's okay, but I don't welcome this approach because it's killing approach for any kind of business when you're just act as a consumer. That's why we have services. That's why we have technologies, and our task is to deliver this information to as many people as possible. The original idea was that multi-level marketing will help us with that. But we have lost one important thing, that in a multi-level marketing, people come, unfortunately, in absolute majority, not for the idea, but for money. Of course, there can be people who come for technology and they understand that future stands behind that, but there are very few such people. That's why we have launched a story with Huracan playing with the lottery for Lamborghini. We want to go beyond the framework of this understanding of purely consumer mindset. As soon as we go into real crypto community, will be appreciated not only for distributing tokens, but for real technology behind this, then we expect real serious growth of token. Will be really winning on the market along with other competitors, because usually other competitions have nothing to offer aside from the token. There are a lot of tokens like that. And there are tokens which have some technologies behind them, like TWT, Trust Wallet token. This is a token which has only one single crypto wallet, not even cards, just crypto wallet. Look at this, what's happening to that token since its listing and launch. Quite interesting things. but the token has only one wallet behind this. That's it. Even our wallet is better than Trust Wallet in many positions. And it's not the only service which stands behind the token. That's why, as soon as we are taken seriously as a technology, ever since then, we're going to start growing very seriously, and we are very close to that point. I hope I've answered your question. Next. Miram from Astana is asking next question. In smart contract of DexNet, I see the question blacklist. Can a developer put holders of DEX token into blacklist, just like USDT? Yes, there is such an option, and the smart contract audit does allow for that. Alexandros is asking next question. Hello. When we'll run out of pools from which all the remunerations are paid to the owners of working and connected DEX nodes, how many tokens will be credited to one DEX node for 1 day working in the online, and when those pools will be run out? Thank you for your question. Very good question, actually. Look, what is happening at the moment? Now we are distributing tokens. In fact, if we look at the pools available in tokenomics, we have a total of 60 blocks. 60, we can call them pools. We call them blocks. Each block has ever more reducing number of tokens. But what will happen when we'll run out of blocks? Doesn't mean that we won't have any blocks, any tokens to distribute. That's when the real business will start. Or to be more exact, this business will start much, much earlier than that. If you look into tokenomics, you will see when the reserve pool will start. What does it mean, reserve pool? Reserve pool will start working much earlier, and then those blocks will run out. At that moment, the reserve pool will be replenished with a 40% of all the turnover of token in DexNet paid for services. I will explain. For instance, a client comes to us and buys a DexNet card for tokens. 40% from these tokens will be sent into the pool. Another client buys Dex Mobile card and buys, say, 10 gigabytes of traffic. And again, he pays for it with a DexNet token. 40% of the DexNet tokens will be put into a reserve pool. And among all the holders of Dex nodes, we start redistributing tokens from the reserve pool. Now, we are just giving an airdrop, to put it simply. We're just simply distributing tokens among the holders of DEX nodes for installation. Now, DEX nodes do not store the files of corporate clients because the DEX Cloud is being just tested by a closed community of testers, and soon we're going to launch it as a product. Only after that, we'll start storing files there. Now, while we are distributing tokens in blocks, you cannot call it a business, full-fledged business. It's just developing together with you, with us, a foundation of this business. Only after that, when we'll run out of these blocks, a real business will start. There we have a certain number of DEX nodes distributed among all the users, and there are some tokens which are moving around and paid for services. Some people are using those services, they're aware of them, and they're happy to pay in tokens. 40% of that tokens are formed up, sent into the reserve pool, and from that reserve pool will be distributed among all the holders of DEX nodes. Now, you cannot even call it business. Now, we're having airdrop between all the holders of DEX nodes. As soon as we reach, if I'm not mistaken, block 24, that's when the reserve pool is activated. That's when the real business will start. I'm just saying this, that you shouldn't think that there will be only one token paid out in the 10th or in 60th block. It means just by this air block, you will get one token but from the reserve pool, you might get much more. How many? I don't know. Nobody can answer this question because everything will depend on how much people will be using our services. The more users of our services will have, the bigger will be the turnover, the more actively our reserve pool will be replenished, and more actively the reserve pool will credit tokens. Even now, this reserve pool is being replenished. The difference is that in the 24th block, we're not going to spread out this reserve pool among all the holders of DEX nodes. We're going to distribute it by fractions and put it back into the market not to have like this on the 24th block, we have a huge upsurge and everybody gets 1 million tokens, and 25th, we have a serious decrease. My main idea that I wanted to deliver to you, the distribution of tokens in blocks is not the business of DexNet. This is airdrop. This way, we give you a more understandable picture of how many tokens you will get eventually. Those people who are in the first 1,000 have already got enough tokens to pay back for the original purchase price of the DEX node. It's clear how much they get in the first block, but starting from block 24, we'll start having a real business when we'll be distributing 40% of tokens from what is coming to the company for payment for services. Question number 75 out of 80. Dan is asking from Astana. In case of a blackout related to the switch off of internet and mobile communication, will be able to use Dex Mobile Dex Cloud. It's great that people start asking these questions, because when a year ago I wrote in my Telegram channel that everybody will experience blackouts, nobody believed me. Now some countries understand that, yes, it's a reality. Guys, it's unfortunately an artificial story, but it's a separate theme for conversation. As for blackout, will Dex Mobile still be active? Yes, it will, because the ground-based communication stations have uninterrupted power supply, which means that if their blackout is for less than 24 hours, you will be still communicated in communication, even if the nearest communication station will switch off and their uninterrupted power supply will switch off. Your mobile, your DEX node will reconnect with another communication station. For instance, if you use SIM card from Vodafone, you can use only Vodafone communication stations. But with the DexSafe, Dex Mobile, it doesn't really matter whether this is a basic station of Vodafone or basic station belonging to Petit Salat or some other company. It doesn't matter. It will get connected to the closest working one. And Dex card also will keep working, because with Dex card, everything is even more interesting. To use it, you need a merchant, and it's a different story. The question is whether your merchant will have a blackout or not. If you go to a supermarket and the supermarket will have a blackout, you won't be able to use this card. But if you go to the supermarket with the electricity or power supply or on site, you will be able to use it there. Sergey is writing the next question from Khmelnytsky. We have big problems with power blackouts and internet blackouts. What do we do with that? It's an interesting comment, actually. We have big problems with the blackouts and power blackouts and the internet blackouts, but the internet GSM towers are distributed with a huge speed. Think about it, why it's happening. The quality of internet is not improving. You have more and more mobile stations. I'm interested in what do you think about it. What do I do if DEX nodes are not online? Am I going to be credited DEX tokens at the average DEX rate? Can I use DEX tokens to buy API keys? If you have power blackout, guys, your DEX node will be switched off and won't be able to credit tokens at average DEX rate, because we have already encountered some dishonesty of some of our partners who switch off like that. At a certain moment in time, I got really ashamed. It was shameful for me to think about those people, because you should know that we also have GSM module in that place. We know what was the internet and DEX rate of your DEX node, and we see what's happening to your DEX node, even if you switch it off from internet. If you switch it off from the power supply, of course, we lose your DEX node. Now, DexNet chain, let's return back to that a bit later. Question 77, Valery. Hello, Alexey. DexNet is not only a company and business entity, but also an association of people and community, which contributes to its development and establishment. The strength of any community is the ability to think, create. I agree. I suggest that we look into a possibility to create a creative lab for DexNet, informal NGO, which would accumulate sensible ideas and proposals from the community and their detailed processing and development into a product which would allow our company and the community and clients to get high quality popular services. It's a great idea. To be honest, I don't know how to implement this idea, how to realize it, but I like it. The only thing is that is about the number of ideas and services. Now, for instance, we have quite a number of ideas about the services. We have those ideas for a number of years, like for the next 5 years of development. Those services that we come out into the market with, we haven't even started working on some of them. We're only preparing the ground for that. The Dex nodes are being distributed. Recently, we started with the first 1,000 Dex nodes connected. We're already with pride deploy our first services there. And there are many, many other ideas we have. That is why I think your idea is great. And we can revisit it later on. Nikolai is asking next question. Dear Alexey, thank you for the possibility to ask a question. I'm interested in the following. Does your company consider possibility to issue your own in-company smartphones in future? Possible for DexNet? If yes, then what will be their specifications and when can we expect the first smartphones under the brand of DexNet on the market? I don't want to make too early an announcement because then next question will be when. But take my word for it, we've been working on this for the past 6 months. That's why the answer to your question is yes, it will appear someday, but I cannot give you the deadline or the time frame, how much time we'll need, maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Unfortunately, it doesn't work according to our expectations. Next. Zhilish from Budapest. Question from ICA. EU introduced a law on MICA. How does it apply to DexNet for transactions and DexSafe? In fact, this is a very interesting story. The first thing, DexNet is not a European company. That is why we do not fall under the jurisdiction of MICA. But generally speaking about that law, it's very interesting indeed. Those people who read about it, please provide your feedback in your comments, what you think about it. Because the main question was that MICA considers legal only that token which is equalized to euro. Everything else is considered to be illegitimate. But it doesn't prevent blockchains to exist and be operational in China even. They even wanted to slap capital punishment on the use of cryptocurrency, but we know that now China is the leading country in the use of cryptocurrencies. So we'll wait and see. But personally, I can tell you that those people who were studying that law from Europe, please note why this law was originally prepared, why it was created in the first place. And look at CBDC. In fact, this is the stable coin, which is equalized 1-to-1 to euro. But there is one big problem with that. CBDC is deprived of the fourth function of money. The fourth function of money is accrual or accumulation. Try to read more about it. You'll be quite surprised and understand why I'm so negative about banking system in the first place. Next. And the next question also comes from Gilby. When do you think Europe will have available services like cloud services and GSM services? The thing is that we do not separate our services by regions, Europe or other countries or regions. It's fully international service. For instance, at this moment in time, am located in EU and I'm using Dex Mobile. When I fly to Emirates, I don't have to change my SIM card. I automatically find myself on the Emirate, connected to Emirate telecom operators. When I fly to India, I don't change my SIM card either. It's an online service. That's why it's available all over the world. Now, the final question comes from Nikolai. Hello, Alexey. I'm interested in the capacities of your companies, and I'd like to learn more about your development plans, whether you're planning to develop and build e-cars. Are you planning to do it now or planning to do it in future? Are there any projects? The development of e-car market, I think that your company might successfully itself in this segment. I would be grateful for any information in this sector. Thank you, Nikolai, for this question. To be honest, we're not thinking in that direction. And this is a huge process, huge industrial process. If we could cover this few bases that I've mentioned previously, I don't think that we'll develop something new in e-car business, because there are specialists that live with that, who develop interesting models and things. And I'm not even talking about Tesla. There are very interesting things from Rivian, for instance. I'm waiting when those cars will be made available on the public market. I find it interesting as a e-pickup car, but we're not developing. It's unlikely that we'll start thinking about it. Who knows? Maybe something will change in the set any objectives for that. Okay, guys, we have been in communication for more than 2 hours, but we've gone through absolutely all questions that I find in the Google form, and now I'm going to look in the chat, and then we'll wrap it up. Wow, I'm going through the chat, and I see that there are so many questions there. I haven't read any of those. Okay, moving on. The best thing is to have your seed phrase carved in the stone and then eat the stone. Yes, I agree. Okay, guys, not for me not to go through all these questions, because it will take another hour. I'll take 10 more minutes and go through the most popular questions, not like question for the question's sake, but rather if you really need an answer to that, let's write those questions now. I see some. I thought it was a question, but it was about Gagarin. This similarity gives us ideas. Okay, please share these ideas, because you're not the first who compare me to Gagarin. Yes, in Spain, they also want to introduce MICA law to follow on all the transactions. It's not for that they want to introduce this law. They want to introduce it to put everybody on CBDC. CBDC is a very dangerous story. I will try to explain to you what the fourth function of money, saving. When you have money and you can save enough of it in your time, for instance, by having active life for 10, 20 years, and you save yourself a little fortune that allows you to live carefree. You no longer have to work thinking about money. But CBDC just deprives you of this function, because you won't be able to keep on your wallet more than 3,000 euros. You make, say, 10,000 euros being a good top manager in month. You are forced to spend it within 1 month. If you don't spend it, then all 7,000 will be lost, and you will have only 3,000 left as a balance. You'll be forced next month to go and do the same work again and again. If you want to buy a house or a car, you're welcome to that. The banking system will throw a noose over your neck as a credit. So this law is created exclusively for this task. Now it looks like a convenient thing to pay for taxes and follow on transactions. Blockchain allows us to follow on transactions, and paying taxes, you can also, if you made money, you can go and pay taxes and declare your income as a law-abiding citizen. But the ultimate ulterior motive is totally different. Deadline for DexPoint for Android. Again, guys, I've been talking about this forever. Can we shape up PIN code for virtual card to get withdraw cash? No, you cannot, because it's a virtual card. I still API keys for blockchain. Should we collect money for August 1st or 1st of December? For August 1st, but I cannot share all the information with you now because we don't have everything approved yet. By August 1st, everything will be approved and we'll be able to share with you the full model, because if I tell you now what we have fixed within the company but haven't approved 100%, it will be wrong. There might be changes in future and you will be relying on that information. That is why, first, prepare yourself for the 1st of August. A long question about the delivery. If there is an agreement for delivery from Kazakhstan to Russia, is there a need for some permit documents for 3 DEX nodes? I can maybe ship it out for different names. I'm really worried about that. I suggest you do it through the tech support maybe. How do I exchange tokens in DexSafe, which work in different blockchains? With the Ether coin. For instance, in DexSafe, we can only do changes with DexSwap.
Такого еще никто не делал в этой индустрии. Мы шли к этому 7 лет. Главный приз от DexNet стоимостью $400 000. И чем бы ты ни занимался, где бы ты ни был, ты можешь забрать этот приз.
December 15th, this car can be yours.
Переходи по ссылке и участвуй в розыгрыше прямо сейчас. Такой шанс не приходит в раз.